Hello everybody, it's EzraTime again here. Welcome back to another reaction videos. And today we're gonna be reacting to the film theory about Squid Game. Obviously, tell what everyone got wrong about Squid Game. So okay, that's interesting because we was speculating before. Then yes, there is some plot point that is actually kind of missed in the original series, obviously. But I still enjoy for the series for what it is. It's still like a 9 out of 10 for me. I really enjoy it. It's really entertaining and it's really character driven, and it's probably the best show out there. So I'm really curious to see what Matpat has to say about this series. Obviously, I don't know what's gonna be his theory. I mean, is it gonna be another, like is he gonna pinpoint the plot hole, or is it gonna be something else? Which is I'm curious about. So without further ado, let's just start the video, shall we?
You're thrown into a series of 6 mystery games with 400 other players. A pot of $44 million is on the line. But more importantly, if you lose, you die. Other
I think it was 38 million. Fair, just saying.
channels have covered the tactics to winning the specific games. And honestly, the show itself does a pretty darn good job of showing you creative solutions to its various puzzles. But today, we're gonna help you survive when you're going in blind. Just like the contestants. This is how to survive the Squid Game.
Okay, cool. I see what you got, man.
For some of the games and strategies. Hello, Internet. Welcome to Film Theory, the show that's brought to you by our totally not made-up sponsor for today's episode, USB Power Banks. Are you an off-duty?
Okay, wait a second. Okay, this is just gonna be a sponsorship.
It's clever. It was also completely misunderstood by everyone watching it. You see, the thing is being called was tense. It was Squid Game, along with
guys.
most of
Let me just
Seriously, what
repeat.
were you thinking?
Sorry,
anyway,
sorry.
I finally got around to watching Squid Game, along with most of the rest of the US at this point, and I loved the series. It was tense.
Yes.
It was clever. It was also completely misunderstood by everyone watching it. You see, the thing is being called the next Hunger Games, the new Battle Royale, the cinematic version of Fall Guys. The thing is, these comparisons really missed the mark because fundamentally, this isn't how the games in the show work. And if you're one of the people making that comparison, it's likely gonna get you killed. Don't worry, most of the characters in the series fell into the same trap, and well, let's just say it didn't end well for them. But have no fear, Matpat is here. By the time you're done with this video, you'll understand the real way to survive the 6 rounds of playground games, regardless of what individual challenges you're faced with. So the next time some random guy in a subway offers you 100,000 won to flip this paper square, or when Season 2 finally launches, because let's face it, this smash hit is absolutely getting itself a sequel, you'll be prepared to survive the squid. So pay attention. The information today might just save your life and make you rich in the process. For the 10 of you out there who still haven't watched Squid Game, here's the briefest of summaries just so you get through today's theory. Gi-hun is a down-on-his-luck gambler who's in dire need of some cash. He's got loan sharks after him, his mother can't afford her surgery, and on top of that, he's gonna lose custody of his daughter because he can't afford to pay a lawyer. Desperate, he agrees to play the highest stakes game imaginable. He's whisked away to a remote island with over 400 other competitors where, in order to win, they have to survive 6 different children's games. Some of them are pass-fail challenges like red light, green light, where failure results in execution. Others are player versus player games like Tug of War, where the losing team falls to their death. As for why you'd possibly want to risk your life in a game like this, well, each death adds 100 million won to the prize pool. 100 million won! Can you believe that? Now all of you are scrambling to Google for that conversion rate. Don't worry, I did it too when I was watching the show, and so did everyone else based on the Google Trends search results for won to US dollar conversion. It actually amounts to about $84,000 per death. Considering that there are 456 contestants, you're talking about a potential prize pool of $38 million.
Yeah,
but be warned, once you start playing, you're not allowed to stop playing. And those who do refuse to play have to worry about clause number 2.
Consent form clause 2. A player who refuses to play will be eliminated.
When they say elimination, they mean a bullet in your head.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Matpat, did you watch the dub? Did you watch the dub version? Because that's fucking bad. I'm just saying. Anyway.
Intersecting in an unpleasant way. The only way out once the games have started is...
Consent form clause 3. If all of the players agree to stop playing, the games are allowed to end.
That's actually a mistranslation, by the way. It's if the majority of players vote to end the game. That's why subs are always better than dubs. So anyway, with the rules laid out, let's get to the
That's also bad dub, by the way. That's the example, guys. Anyway, let us continue.
Before, the players don't know what games they're going to be playing until they get to the Death Island. If they're observant, they can piece together clues based on the wall decorations around
I just
them,
realized
but still,
that.
it's not going to give them much time to prepare or practice. And so that's what we're going to assume today, that we've just signed up and have no idea what's in store for us. In this massive game of death, what should our general strategies be? First, we shouldn't assume that just because people are dying, that this is a death game, because it's not. The rules will state,
everyone here will participate in 6 different games. Those who win all 6 games will receive a handsome cash prize.
If you survive, you win. And sure, while each death boosts the pot, it's not like a Battle Royale or Hunger Games scenario where there can only be one left standing. Here, there can be more than one winner, and that's important. It means that the survival of one person, or even a group of people, is not directly negative to your personal survival. Which then opens up the question, should you be sabotaging your fellow players in order to boost the prize pot and advance yourself? This is a dilemma that actually pops up repeatedly throughout the series. In the second game, Song-woo figures out the game before anyone else does, punching a shape out of a fragile honeycomb candy. Knowing this, he immediately chooses the easiest shape, and then encourages the other players on his team to split up, getting them to take shapes that are much more difficult and much more likely to lead to their elimination. Obviously, there's all kinds of moral and ethical reasons why you shouldn't intentionally try to kill other people, but what Song-woo does here in Game 2 is one of the stupidest moves that we see anyone make across the entire series. The people he chooses to sabotage are people that have agreed to team up with him. The players who, in the event of a fight, are more likely to have his back as opposed to, say, planting a knife between his shoulder blades. Oh wait, that's exactly what we see happen. They come to his rescue the following night when everyone tries killing each other. But teaming up isn't just about keeping people in your personal alliance safe. Keeping more players in the game for longer means more chances for other people to help you survive. Again, take that honeycomb game as the example. In it, players are given a needle to punch out their shape, which is fine for easy shapes like a triangle, but not very effective for the more fragile shapes like the umbrella or star. However, one person in the group, our hero Gi-hun, out of desperation comes up with a completely out-of-the-box strategy, ignoring the needle entirely and licking the candy so the shape can pop out. This, in turn, saves multiple other contestants who copy the strategy, people who otherwise would have been eliminated just like the rest. That's why it's stupid when the players try to kill each other between games 2 and 3, because these are men whose lives were saved by the person that they're now attempting to eliminate. You know what they say, 2 heads are better than 1, so true. 50 heads should be even better, and 400 heads is even better than that. It's why the internet hive mind is so good at solving puzzles. Everyone brings their own experiences and expertise to the table. So let's just say that you were, I don't know, faced with a challenge that involves jumping across panels of glass, with 50% of those panels being tempered and safe to stand on. Well, it would be really helpful if the group had someone who is a glass expert that could tell the difference between tempered and untempered glass. Oh wait, that's exactly what happens. Except instead of sharing his knowledge, the glass expert hides this fact until the end, after practically all the other players have died. This is stupid, not just from a statistical angle, but also from a strategic one, considering that most of the games are timed. Everyone else, realizing that they're just blindly guessing on a coin flip that could cost them their life, wastes time. Every second that you're hiding your knowledge is a second that the group isn't making progress. As a result, our glassmaker, despite having the knowledge that should have kept him alive through this challenge, ultimately dies because he runs out of time. Had he shared it from the get-go, mostly everyone could have survived.
To be fair though, I mean, if he actually goes to the first place and then try to explain it to the player, like the frontman is going to notice that, and then he's going to turn off the light like he's doing here. You know, they're in the last step, and then the frontman decided, you know what, let me just adjust the system, turning off the light so he doesn't even know. So I'm pretty sure when we get to the halfway, if this person immediately lead the group, we're just gonna stuck in the same situation because he can tell the differences. There's nothing to throw to tell the differences for the glass, so it's not exactly a good solution. It might save several lives, obviously, but still, not it doesn't lead them to like salvation.
Survived what was one of the most disastrous and difficult challenges of the batch. Also, can I just digress here for a minute? This one bothered me. I just didn't really like this challenge. I get that it was a cool visual and interesting concept, but the challenge just didn't work for me. It didn't seem to be based on a playground game like all the others. The game makers cheat by turning off the lights midway through, which directly counteracts their whole everyone has a fair chance motto. The whole putting people into a specific order felt unfair, and then the way they conclude it with a giant explosive finale puts everyone's lives at risk. It was just good spectacle, but also something that felt kind of cheap. Alright, rant over. Of course, there is the elephant in the room. Every player who dies adds more money to the prize pot, but that's the wrong way to think about it. Let's assume that, like we see in the show, there are 6 rounds, and that there will be at least 3 games that require 50% of the players to be eliminated. This would be games like tug-of-war and marbles, where some amount of death is guaranteed. That means that your portion of the prize pot is already going to be sitting at a hefty 800 million won, $668,000 US, even before any additional deaths from the other games. If you're someone like Gi-hun who has loan sharks to pay off, a family member's surgery to pay for, and an ex-spouse to fight in court, that amount should cover everything while still leaving you with enough to make a down payment on a new house. There's also an economic principle called the law of diminishing utility, which states that if someone is down on their luck, having an extra $80,000 is a huge, massive deal. If you're Gi-hun, that money has a lot of use. But if you're already standing to win over $600,000, another $80K on top is certainly nice, but no longer is the life-changing sum of money that it once was. Once your basic needs are met, as income increases, you gain a correspondingly smaller and smaller increase in your life satisfaction.
Yeah, true.
You get a slightly nicer car, a slightly nicer house. Therefore, it's not something that's worth risking your life over. This is surprisingly a topic that the last episode focuses on, though for spoiler reasons, I'm not going to play the clip. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that any winner of the Squid Games shouldn't have that money, but what I am saying is that there's a tipping point where each additional dollar earned is less and less worth risking your own life to achieve. And by just playing the game with survival as your first priority, you wind up with plenty of money to change your situation while also minimizing your risk of losing that life so, you know, you can go on and spend it. Obviously, there's going to be rounds where you're forced to fight for your life and eliminate other players, but if you don't have to kill people, then don't. Never thought that's a sentence I'd have to say, but here we are. But there is one big concern that you have to be aware of. Clause number 3. At any point, the players can vote on whether or not to end the game. If the majority of players want out, that causes the game to end not just for them, but for everyone. In order for you to walk home with your money, you have to complete 6 games. But people will probably vote to escape the games if they're put into a position where they're almost certainly gonna die. So with that in mind, let's go back to the glass bridge. Unless you have outside knowledge of what tempered and untempered glass looks like, the game is generally decided by random coin flips. And by coin flips, I mean the first few people in line coming down with a mild case of death for the good of the group. In the challenge, there are 18 sets of panels. Worst case scenario, you have 18 deaths. The best case scenario is 0 deaths with the person in front correctly guessing every time, but fat chance there. As player number 3 correctly estimates when he's 3 panels in,
probability that I'll get everything right is
Hey, you got this!
1 in 32,768.
overall, if you're first in line, you have a 1 in 262,144 chance of survival. The average here is 9 deaths, with the probability distribution curve basically looking like a bell curve, which you can see using any binomial visualization tool. You have one of those handy, right? Using that probability chart, we can see that the first 6 people in line are basically screwed, having less than a 5% chance to survive, while the people going 13th and later have a 95% or better chance to survive. But even if you're trapped in the game with no calculator, it doesn't take a whole lot of brain power to determine that you do not want to be one of the first 9 people to play. So you, as a smart player, hopefully chose not to be one of the first few people in line, but even if you're feeling good about your odds of survival, remember that for you to actually make it across the bridge, you need the game to happen. Let's say that the game has been reduced to 13 players, and you're lucky enough to be 13th in line. That's good news for you. You have 95% odds to survive. However, you probably won't make it across the bridge for the simple reason that there are good odds that the first 7 people in line are gonna nope the heck out of there, going with a majority vote to end the game, meaning that even though you had the ideal position and would have won, you get nothing. Good day, sir. And you see, this is exactly what could have happened in the show. 16 players remaining, knowing that the first 9 were likely to die, they could have voted to end the game right then and there, and because they were in the majority, clause number 3 would have been enacted. Game over. Now let's take the alternate scenario. Let's assume knowledge was shared and everyone's cooperating. At this point, there would have been 2 50% elimination games, Tug of War and Marbles. In the best case scenario, 456 players would have been reduced to 114. By the time you get to the bridge, even if every single one of those first 18 people in line got cold feet, they wouldn't have enough votes to end the game. And instead of most of them being wiped out, we'd expect an average of 9 of those players, or 8% of the 114 player group, to get eliminated. 92% of players surviving to get past this game, pretty darn good odds. In short, your chances of survival increase the more people are around you to take the blows. So now that we've spent a lot of time talking about what not to do, what can you do to increase your odds of surviving in Squid Game? Apart, of course, from playing nice with your fellow competitors. Well, the first one is obvious. Don't panic. Red light, green light is an easy game, and the timer was very generous as long as you stay calm and you use your time wisely. Also, just like with the 3 clauses, make sure that you're paying attention to the game's rules. For instance, we see Song-woo cheat at marbles by misdirecting his...
Oh my god, sorry guys. The screen is glitching again. I'm really sorry.
Partner, but his method for collecting 20 marbles doesn't actually involve breaking any of the rules that are established by the game master.
The player who manages to take all 10 marbles from their partner wins.
Repeatedly throughout the series, we see players presented with an obvious solution, like the needle in the honeycomb game, and they just assume that because this is the default or recommended way to play the game, it must therefore be the only way to play the game. But rarely is that the case. You can lie to your partner and take his marbles. You can lick your candy until the sugar melts. The problem everyone falls into is that they assume certain rules are there when in fact they're not. In the Glass Bridge episode, we see that Gi-hun was able to take a single marble as a keepsake with him, which ended up being relevant in that very game. A second, third, or 20 more marbles could have come in real handy with that one. Also with that Glass Bridge, the rules just state that you have to jump from panel to panel.
For this game, you will guess which one of the next 2 tiles is the tile made of the stronger tempered glass, and only step on those across the 18 pairs of tiles.
But nothing said that you had to land on the middle of each panel. Landing with your feet on the supporting bars holding up the glass is going to reduce the weight on that glass, ultimately helping resist the breakage. Is it breaking the rules? I don't know. Honestly, I don't think so. But here's the thing, you know that you're gonna die if you choose wrong.
They're gonna shot you anyway. I think the pink soldier will immediately shot you if you do that. I'm just saying.
So why
maybe not? Who
pushing
knows?
the edges of the rules just a little bit when there's nothing else to lose? By taking a moment to think about the actual hard rules of the game and not automatically dismissing unconventional solutions by assuming that anything else isn't allowed, you might actually be able to find a loophole that allows you to survive. Lastly, use your surroundings. Not only are the walls giving you clues, but your clothes, the bed, the springs, and the mattresses, all of it could potentially prove useful. Were you given a glass bottle yesterday as a part of your meal? Instead of breaking it to try and shank your opponents, why not bring it with you to your next game? Tug of war. Throw it onto your opponent's platform to throw them off balance, or put glass under their feet. Maybe cut the rope so neither side loses. Another thing that I want to get off my chest, this is just a terrible idea.
I think that doll senses when you move around.
That person in front of you is going to stop at times that you don't expect or anticipate. If they get shot, that bullet might go through them and pierce you, or their dead body might knock into you. And instead of focusing on the game itself, you're going to be focused on another person as you run down that field, which is not where your attention needs to be. In short, your #1 strategy to surviving the Squid Game should be to ignore Sung-woo.
I think it would put us at a disadvantage if we just choose one. You think?
For being the smartest person in the room, all of his ideas are dumb. I guess except for the tug. Anyway, if you happen to meet a well-dressed man in a train station who invites you to throw squares of paper at each other, now you know what to do, and that's to say no. Because unless your desire to win more than $500,000 is greater than your desire to have more than a 12% chance of surviving the next week of your life, it's not going to be worth it. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And here's a game for you. Press that subscribe button as fast as you can. See how many times you can press it before this video ends. Maybe you'll end up subscribed to this channel, maybe you won't. We'll find out together. It'll give me the weirdest data for unsubbed, resubbed to a video of all time. YouTube Analytics is gonna be so mad at me for this one.
Anyway, there was the Squid Game. Again, that's a really interesting point, to be fair. And I think I agree with Matpat theory there, that it seems like in order to survive the Squid Game, it's actually, well, you need to be smart, obviously, but at the same time, like, the rule for Squid Game, it seems like not really that clear. Now that I hear that, I mean, Ryan George literally said that you can actually walk on the panel, right? You know, like on the bridge, right? But I'm pretty sure the guard will shot you anyway because you're breaking the rule or something like that. But and then Mappa said that, well, you can jump on the side of the bridge, you know, like this side, and then it can hold the glass, right? So that could work, to be fair, but I don't know if they're allowed to do that because the fireman literally turned off the light to make sure that no one can, to make sure the guy can actually predict, you know, which glass is the hard one and then the soft one. You could say that. Because I'm pretty sure that he's gonna do something else, you know, after a while since that happening. Because this is the way it is, right? These people, to me, like the front man and then the pink soldier, like they're all hypocrites, you know. It seems like everything in Squid Game, you know, they're fair, you know, everything is fair here, you know, like we're equal to each other. But like in the bridge game, I mean, I agree with Mappa that while the visual looks cool, I think it was intense. It's still intense, by the way. I still like the whole scene, like the whole direction was amazing. But I mean, you can't deny that there is some easy way to get out of that situation. Like not exactly, well, it's not super easy, but you know, it could have been, you know, at least a tiny bit, you know, easier to manage the situation if everybody just calm down and they can actually trust each other. But at the same time, like humans rarely do that, so I don't know. And yeah, the front man, the pink soldier, the hypocrites, I think they just don't realize that, obviously, because like all hypocrites do. Well, some kind of realize that, but still, but yeah, I think we're gonna get a season 2 or Squid Game. I think the front man is gonna be the main character for the sequel, right? Because like again, we don't exactly know when we're gonna get a season 2, but I think I agree with Matpat that this Squid Game series was actually really popular. So like they're gonna make a season 2 like soon enough. Like we don't know when. I don't know what's gonna be the story. Even though the only news that we get for season 2 is again the frontman is going to become the main characters, and I'm assuming Gi-hun will return, obviously. As the I don't know, it's gonna be like one of the main character or it's gonna be just like a supporting characters. Like I don't know. But one thing for sure though, I think it's gonna be really different. I think we're gonna see the game not like since in this series we mostly see the perspective of the game from the players, right? Like Gi-hun, Sang-woo, Sebyok, and all that kind of stuff. Ali, and the old man Ilnam. Um, and since the news about the frontman for season 2, I think season 2 might be focusing more on the frontman perspective on how he and the pink soldier will handle the game, because we kind of see how they handle the game on the background, but at the same time, like we never see the whole thing, right? How they're going to handle it. We see a tiny bit, and then we get the idea how they're handling the game. But I think it will be interesting if season 2 switch sides or like switch perspective to the frontman and then the pink soldier's perspective. Are there, because there are trapped in this game as well, right? I don't know about the frontman, but like the pink soldier, like they're trapped in this game as well. But they have to do what they have to do. We don't even know what their origin was. And I heard some theory that if the guy on the station played by Gong-yu, obviously, if you choose the blue one, I think you'll become a player, and then if you choose the red one, you become a guard. Like that's the theory that I heard, but I don't exactly know about that. I don't think that's really like 100% accurate. So I don't know. Like I think in season 2 we might get to see the origin story for the pink soldier. Where they come from, and then obviously we get to hear that amazing soundtrack again. For the pink soldier. You guys know the soundtrack. Like oh ha 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 ha. Like it's just mysterious and it's ominous. Because again you don't know who these people are. So I think we're gonna get some backstory for them in season 2, and I think it's gonna be awesome. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, that was a great theory. Basically again, don't panic. Yeah, just like every situation. And then again, they probably could do the things that Matpat said there. Take the glass or take the marble. It become useful. Don't listen to Sang-woo. Yeah, because Sang-woo was supposed to be smart. He's from this university because like Gi-hun keeps saying that, and then in the end, he kind of become this bad guy that kind of like redeem himself in the end. But still, like I understand if people defining Sang-woo, because like if you in his position that you might do the same thing as he does in this game, because this is what you're going to do, right? But at the same time, Sang-woo is not exactly, he was supposed to be smart, but he was selfish, right? I think that's what we were getting from the show, and then that's why he's not sharing everything with his friend, which is again, I agree with Matpat, is stupid, because these are your friend, they will defend you, but at the same time, they don't exactly know that the player can kill each other, right? This was before that moment, but if that moment happened, that the player can kill each other, then maybe Sang-woo will immediately gather his team and then immediately, hey guys, pick triangle, on the honeycomb game, but since this before he knows that you can kill each other on the game and it was legal to do that, then I think that's why he decided to just like, what, whatever, just pick whatever you want. I mean, I guess that's my theory, but I could be wrong. But yeah, I guess you guys can let me know in the comment section below what do you guys think about this film theory right here. Do you guys agree that the Squid Game could be a lot more easier to do? You guys agree with Matpat, or do you guys disagree with Matpat? Just let me know your opinions about it in the comment section below, and maybe your opinions about the show as well. Do you guys love it, or do you guys think it was overrated, or it was okay? Then feel free to share your opinions about it in the comment section. Obviously, I like to hear that, guys. And if you guys want to watch the original video, then I will leave a link in the description below. As always, make sure you guys check Film Theorist channel. I will leave the channel's link in the description below. Obviously, as always, subscribe to him and show some support. And if you guys enjoy my reaction video, then please leave a like, comment, subscribe to my channel. ring that notification bell, share the videos. It really helps the channel, guys. And yeah, stay tuned for the next video, whatever it's gonna be. And again, guys, I really hope you guys enjoying this reaction video, hopefully. And I will see you guys in the next one then. Bye.